a four-way lead at the top of the table over in Italy, and Cremonese are one of them. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're looking at match number 3 in Italy, that's right, and we have a four-way lead at the top of the table. Who are they? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe, your subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Serie A, woo, football. We're going to all hear under one roof. He's the champions. Also, one of the four leading the charge. I'll showcase you all of them in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members of the patrons. You know who you are. But today we're going to jump into match number 3. But before all that, a recap of match day number 2. So here we go then, recapping the results. Here they are on the screen there. Of course, my predictions are on the left. The real deal is on the right. We're kicking it all off with Cremonese, a 3-2 win over Sassuolo. I'm with a draw on that one. Meanwhile, Milan got their first win of the campaign. 2-0 winners over Lecce. I went with a 2-1 win. Bologna with a 1-0 win over Como. I went with a 2-1 win on that one. Parma, massive draw for them against Atalanta. I went with a home win. Roma did beat Pisa, 1-0 win. I went with a 2-1 win. The champions, Napoli, with a 1-0 over Cagliari. I went with a 3-0 win. Genoa did lose to Juventus, 1-0. I did go the other way. Torino and Fiorentina did draw 0-0. I went with a 1-1. Udinese picked up a massive scalp with a 2-1 win away to Internazionale, and Lazio bounced back with a 4-0 win over Hellas Verona, that's right. So those are the results. This is the table as of right now. As you see, it's Napoli, it is Juventus, it's Cremonese, and Roma going down. Sassuolo, Torino, and Hellas Verona. So we got a bit of jiggery pokery to get going in the table. We have a few unbeaten teams as well in the middle of the pack. But of course, we are looking forward to match number 3. Before all that, quick update on the Super Bowl. I'm not going to give you an update, but this is the link for that. Just keep on doing your thing. I'm not giving you an update because I'm on the road here. I don't have all my screens and all that kind of stuff, but just do your thing, get your predictions in, and see if you're there next time around. So here we are. Alrighty then, folks, these are the next round of games, and we have a stacked out fixture list over in Italy, and we're going to get into it right here, right now. But first and foremost, going to Cagliari as they take on Parma. That's right, it's coming out of the Unipol Dumas. Fabio Pescani's boys are 13th right now, just the 1 point for the campaign, up against Parma under Carlos Cudiesta, who are 16th, also with the 1 point. Now, they played 45 times, these two clubs, since 1993. 16 wins for Cagliari, 17 wins for Parma. There's been 12 draws. They last played at Cagliari as a 2-1 win for Cagliari back in February 2025. That was last season. Cagliari opening up with a point against Fiorentina and a loss against the champions Napoli. Meanwhile, Parma picked up a point last time around against Atalanta, and they find themselves underdogs in this match with Cagliari red hot favourites, of course. Going to go with, on this, a 1-0 win. Not much between the two sides. It's just that Cagliari at home will have the better of them. Meanwhile, Juventus take on Internazionale. All these 3 games here coming at you on Saturday, the 13th of September. The Allianz Stadium, this one, Juventus under Igor Tudor. Top of the pops right now. 4 wins are the possible. 4 in all competitions, all sizes. Up against Internazionale. Christian Chivu is the coach there. They've won 1, they've lost 1, heading into match number 3. Now, they played 78 times, these two clubs, since 1993. 34 wins for Juve, 19 wins for Inter. There's been 25 draws. They last played at Turin in the Allianz Stadium. It was a 1-0 win for Juventus back in February 2025. Juve opening up with back-to-back clean sheets, wins away to Genoa, and the last time they were at home, they picked up a 2-0 win over Parma. Coming into this, Inter picked up a win on opening day against Torino, but they did lose, surprise, surprise, against Udinese. 2-1 winners last time around. The odds for this one, it's tight, very, very tight, but Juventus edge it in the bookies' eyes. I think I've got them edging it in my eyes. Got to go with a 1-0 win. Juve taking the spoils. Let's go to Fiorentina now as they take on the champions Napoli at the Stadio Armando Franchi. Fiorentina under Stefano Pioli there, 12th in the table, of course. Picked up 2 points of a possible 6. Up against Napoli under Antonio Conte, looking to make it back-to-back titles. Back-to-back wins for them. 6 points for them so far. They played 52 times since 1994. 16 wins for Fiorentina. There's been 23 wins for Napoli. There's been 13 draws. Coming into this, they last played at Fiorentina. It was a 3-0 win for Napoli back in January 2025. Napoli are unbeaten against Fiorentina over the last 4, picking up 3 wins and 1 draw. Napoli opening up with a back-to-back clean sheets themselves, picked up a win opening day against Sassuolo on the road and a 1-0 win over Cagliari at home last time. Fiorentina drawing with Torino last time around, also been busy in Europe as well. Back-to-back draws in the league. The bookies will give it to Napoli. Yes, they will. So am I. Going to go with a 2-1 tight one, though. Could even go down the wire. Meanwhile, Roma, they're taking on Torino. That's coming at you on Sunday, September the 14th at the Stadio Olimpico. Giampiero Casperini's boys unbeaten in the last 4 matches, all competitions. They sit 4th right now, 6 points for them. Up against Torino under Marco Baroni, just 1 win in the last 6. They played 47 times, these two clubs, since 1994. 30 wins for Roma. There's been 6 wins for Torino and 11 draws. They last played at Roma as a 1-0 win back in October 2024. Back-to-back wins for Roma over Torino. Back-to-back clean sheets as well against them. They're coming into us also on the back of back-to-back clean sheets, picking up back-to-back, I've said it too many times, 1-0 wins. Meanwhile, Torino, back-to-back games without a goal for them. Goodness gracious me, yet to get the first goal in Serie A this campaign. The bookies will go with Roma. Yes, they will. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win and another clean sheet to boot. Let's go to Atalanta. That's Giampiero Casperini's old club as they take on Lecce at the Guais Stadium. Even Juric is the coach there. Back-to-back draws for them. Up against Lecce, coming into this on just the 1 point for the campaign. They played 24 times since 1993. Atalanta winning 11 of them. There's been 5 defeats or 5 wins for Lecce, and there's been 8 draws. They last played at the Guais. It was back in April 2025. It was also a 1-1 scoreline. Meanwhile, speaking of 1-1s, it's been back-to-back 1-1s for Atalanta, drawing with Pisa, then drawing with Parma. As for Lecce, drew with Genoa, but they did lose to AC Milan most recently, and yet to get going goal-scoring-wise in the league as well. The bookies will give it to Atalanta. Of course they will. They're at home. Going to go with a 2-1 win. We'll break a couple of jinxes there as Atalanta get their first win, and Lecce will get their first goals. Meanwhile, Pisa taking on Udinese. That's coming at you over at the Arniana Garibaldi. Alberto Gallardo there, sitting in there with 13th place with just the 1 point. Up against Udinese under Kostic Runjic, unbeaten in the last 6. They are 92% form for them over the last 6. They sit 5th with 4 points. They've never played each other, according to my data, but they're coming into this. Pizza on the back of a draw against Atalanta on opening day and a narrow loss at home to Roma most recently. Udinese with a draw against Verona, then picking up a monster win against Internazionale just the other day. The bookies, looking at this one, I haven't got any odds. Got no odds on this one, so it was a bit of a shot in the dark. I'm going to go with a 0-0, which will be fine for both. Udinese keep the wheels rolling, unbeaten, and of course Pizza putting another point in the bag. Let's go to Sassuolo as they take on Lazio, coming out of the Maipai Stadium. Sassuolo under Fabio Grosso, they are rock bottom right now with back-to-back defeats up against Lazio, who are 7th, 58% form for them right now, with Maurizio Sarri in the dugout. They played 23 times since 2013, 5 wins Sassuolo, 13 wins Lazio. There's been 5 draws. They last played at Sassuolo back in October 2023, resulting in a 2-0 win for Lazio. Goodness gracious me. Lazio are unbeaten against Sassuolo over the last 5, picking up 4 wins and just the 1 draw. Sassuolo did lose to Cremonese most recently. Lazio with a 4-0 win over Verona. Bookies will give it to Lazio. Yes, they will, as do I. 2-1 winners. Lazio with the points. Let's go to AC Milan as they take on Bologna. Coming at you at the Giuseppe Meazza. That's right, Milan under Marcello Allegri. They are 8th right now. 3 points for them. That's 1-1, lost 1. Up against Bologna under Vincenzo Italiano. Also, same points there. 3 points for them. They've won 1 and they've lost. Played 51 times since 1996. 32 wins for Milan. 8 wins Bologna. There's been 11 draws. They last played in Milan. 3-1 win as it was back in May 2025. Bologna picking up a 1-0 win over Como. Milan with a 2-0 win over Lecce last time around. Odds will go with this. They'll go with Milan. Of course they will. I think I'm going the same. 2-0 winners, AC Milan taking the points. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Verona as they take on Cremonese. That's on Monday, September the 15th at the Stadio Maracandopa Togodi. Verona under Paolo Zanetti. Currently find themselves 18th with just the 1 point for them so far. Up against Cremonese, a perfect start for them. 2 wins out of 2 under David Nicola. Good coach. He is proven to be a good coach. They played 18 times since 1998. 7 wins for Verona, 5 wins Cremonese. There's been 6 draws. They last played in Verona in this division back in January 2023. It was a 2-0 win for Verona. Verona on the back of a draw against Udinese, then more recently against a heavy defeat against Lazio. Cremonese opening up with a win away to Milan, picking up a massive 3-2 win over Sassuolo's away. 6 points in the bag already for them. Great start. Bookies, they'll give it to Verona here. I think Cremonese gets something out of this. Going to go with a draw and a point in the bag. Cremonese, all these points count. And then finally we go Como as they take on Genoa, coming at you over at the Stadio Giuseppe Signalia. Como, Cesc Fabregas there, 4 wins the last 6 matches, all competitions, all venues. They find themselves 9th with 3 points. Up against Genoa, Patrick Vieira, 15th right now, just 1 point for them, of course. Former teammates, did they ever play in the same team? Maybe they didn't. Anyway, they played 8 times since 2001. 3 wins Como, 2 wins Genoa. There's been 3 draws between the two sides, including a couple of draws. 3 of the last 4 matches ended up all square, but the last time they played at Como, it was a 1-0 win for Como back in April 2025. Como did a win against Lazio on opening day. That was at home as well. They did lose to Bologna most recently. Back-to-back home games for Genoa and back-to-back games without a goal. They drew against Lecce. They lost against Juventus. So the first away game of the season. It's actually been 3 home matches on the backs for Genoa coming into this. The bookies odds will give it to Como. Yes, they will. I'm going that way as well, I think. 2-0 winners Como look good and assess Fabregas. That's my take on it, guys. And if I'm right, this is what the table should look like at the end of it. Napoli, Roma remain tip at the top of the table. Juventus and Cremonese dropping points going down Sassuolo, Torino and Genoa. Don't forget, Super Brew is live. We've got the prediction right there. Link, get involved, get predicting, and we'll see who is king of the kingpins next time around. But until then, we'll see you soon when this returns. I'll be back home. But until then, we're done.